Okay. Rent number 2. I've recently learned about a group known as Collective Shout. Apparently, I had learned that Collective Shout are an Australian group that are trying to remove anything porn related, porn games on like Steam and Itch.co. Uh, my opinion is I'm not angry, but I'm not exactly happy about that as well because the reason why I'm not happy is because it's kind of like it's rude to bully, and like I gave my Nintendo rant, this is another case of bullying. Uh, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not into like pornographic games. I can't stand porn as much anymore. I just don't like looking at them. I don't like seeing porn games, but at the same time, I don't think it's right for a group that acts like they are have high power or is God and can tell systems like Steam and Itch.co that they have to remove all the porn games. I get that you don't like depictions of like women being abused and I look at the topics. I see the topics are like rape and incest, which I look at that as the main topics. I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, but the only problem is they have no merit. They have no standings really. They just are a group that are kind of hungry for power that they want to dictate other people's actions, bullying them to submission to make sure that they get what they want. Otherwise, they'll just scream and cry and just try to get the law on their side, which is really sad. So they basically like Nintendo, but different. Um, no video games have ever had like rape for long. I mean, anytime any game has any stench of rape, Good Samaritans go like, "Hey, this game is unfair. This is about rape. What the heck?" Next thing you know, the game gets banned and put away, which means that's not their job has already been done. Someone else already does them the favor of getting rid of that game. The incest part, I'm not really I don't understand that part. I can understand rape, but what does that have to do with your group? I mean, what does that have to do with the fact that I don't get that part? I mean, what does that have to do with it being like a for your protection against females? What does that have to do with that? I mean, what is rape? I understand, but incest, I don't get that at all. What does that have to do with protecting sisters from uh, forcefully doing stuff you don't want? Um, but yeah, I don't like porn games or porn anything. But at the same time, I'm not gonna go over to Steam and go, "Listen here, Buster, you get that game off. It is disgusting. It is foul. You get it off, sir. Get it off now." No, 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 no. If I was like that, I'd be no different than frickin' a dictator. And you've seen how well dictators are, like Hitler and so. And what I think is funny is the fact that I hear about this, the fact that they're going after porno games, and they make me think of another person. They make me think of Jack Thompson. Jack Thompson was a lawyer that fought hard against violent video games like Mortal Kombat. That's why nowadays video games have like age ratings because of Mortal Kombat. So they made me think of Jack Thompson, but I'm also thinking, look, I don't like porn games. I don't like anything porn related. However, I don't want to dictate anyone's actions. It's their money. They have every right to use their money on certain things. What do I have the right to? Telling people what they can and cannot buy. Within reason, they can buy certain things. I mean, I think it's unfair because, like, if they want to spend their money on something perverted, then let them. I mean, what right do I have to tell them not to buy games with their money? I mean, I buy some games, but not perverted ones anymore. Yeah, I said anymore. I used to buy those stupid things years ago when I was a kid. But now, I like to play games like Lego games. Lego games are fun. Nothing perverted about that, thankfully. And the thing of it is, I know what I'm getting into, because I know when it comes to Steam, I could just click on a game and it'll show me brief pictures about what the game has. And it actually will warn me with a tag saying, this has hentai. That problem is a little bit of a problem. Apparently, some idiot decides to mislabel these games and make it sound like there's pervertedness in it when it isn't. Which is funny because it tricks everyone to think that there is something bad about the game and it's not actually something good. So it actually steers them away if they're not into that. I wish they really need to fix the Steam so that they've labeled the games better. Somebody could just call it a perverted game when it's not even perverted. Anyway, when I think of Collective Shout, I think of PETA, because PETA was a group that was trying to make sure nobody skinned animals and used them for coats. They were, their heart was in the right place, but they just didn't do it very well. But that's another rant for another time. I'm not going to deal with PETA right now. The point is, Collective Shout are a bunch of groups of Australians that don't seem to understand that. Just because there are video games that have to do with like porn in it doesn't mean you have every right to dictate someone's actions. And I hear that the compliance, you have to like remove every games from the title. But here's the thing. I don't agree about what Collective Shout does. It's one thing to be offended by certain content. It's another to kick sand in someone's eyes and be a bully. So what Collective Shout is just a bully that likes to force others to comply, otherwise they'll attack you, and that's sad. I'm not scared of those groups. They're just bullies. They're bullies that we just gotta not give them the power, just ignore them, act like they're not there. Eventually their crying will die down and they'll just go away, far away, where they belong. I have no bitter towardness. I just don't like what they're doing. It's you know, in my opinion, it's like perverted games are not that grand because it's like, but at the same time, you shouldn't bully someone to like remove the games just because they offend you. I mean, what's next, Collective Shout? Are you gonna go after pornographic magazines? You're gonna go after any porno movies? Are you just gonna remove everything porn related to the point of there's no porn at all? I mean, porn toys, porn video games, whatever. You can also set your sights on hentai and basically make this world 100% no porn. You're gonna rush into someone's house and while they're doing the deed, and are you gonna like take a bathroom drape and cover them and make sure they can't enjoy their love for each other? Are you just gonna like, are you gonna like cover up anybody who uses the toilet? Are you gonna you're gonna like cover them while they're in the shower? Will you be following everybody until everyone's all covered to the point that they please you? Then you just become like a stalker and a pervert. Ironic, you'd be the very thing that you hate. In my opinion, you really should get your act together and understand that you are not God. Last time I checked, you aren't the being that created life on this world. Therefore, you don't have right to dictate anyone's actions but your own. Unless you were the very person who created all of us, which is impossible. Only they, whether you believe in God or not, I don't believe in God personally, but if he was real, just saying hypothetically, if he was real, then he should have the saying of telling us what we should and what shouldn't do, which is why we have what we got. Freedom of will, freedom to do what we want within reason. And that's why groups like Collective Shout have no right to dictate another person's actions, because they are not higher power. They're not a cop, they're not a judge. But it looks like in their heads they decide that they are judge, jury, and executioner. And they'll shun anyone who plays those perverted things. Which is really bad because it's bullying 101, basically. Bullying others to make sure they do. It's like, I'm sure that you can play something that would be up your alley. I mean, we got plenty of video games that are not about porn at all. I'm sure you could play a good sports game or Barbie doll. Barbie is a good game. I hear that Barbie is got nothing porn related, and it's quite fun actually. You just go around doing stuff. You don't have to worry about getting hurt. No bad guys. Why don't you go play a Barbie doll game? Like to shout. That sounds like up your alley. It sounds like a fun game for you to play. Why don't you play that? There's also good sports games, though. You can always play football, baseball, soccer. Those don't have any porn to it. You can always play that. That sounds fun. Why don't you play that? There are plenty of kid-friendly games for you to play. Let's see. I'm sure there's a typing game you could play. There's a rhythm game, music game. All kinds of games that you would be able to excel in and be able to enjoy. But bullying companies that have perverted games, that's just going too far. It's like it's like saying you have no life. You are idle hands. You're doing things because you're bored. You have nothing to do, so you decide to make this group to attack for no reason. I personally don't know what to say about it. I don't care for porno stuff, but at the same time, I want to attack someone just because they're into it. If they're into it, I just don't want to see it. They'll do it in their own home, but I don't want to see it. But my point is, I'm not going to go dictate my friend's action and go, hey, don't you dare play that, I swear. Don't you dare! I will unfriend you. No, I'm just going to be like, dude, just don't tell me about your game, please. I don't want to hear what it is. Because I would respect my friend. And he can do what he wants, but I don't want to do what... I don't want to play it. But the point is, I'm not going to go dictate the actions. So, in the end, my advice to you is, stop dictating actions. You don't like perverted games, I get that. But at the same time, you kind of show evil in your intentions because you're trying to dictate developers who are trying to make a living by getting money for people buying the games. And that's not very good. Not very good. When you start bullying someone, that's when you gotta really look in the mirror and think to yourself, should I be like some kind of Hitler? Should I dictate the actions of certain people just because I don't like what they have? I mean, will you go, if you were like a Burger King fan, would you go around McDonald's and demand that McDonald's bankrupts so that only Burger King exists? Would you go to Pizza Hut and demand that Little Caesars goes underground, but basically bankrupt? Would you go to Buster's and say that Chuck E. Cheese is way better? No, because that would be bullying, and we don't need bullying in this world. Bullying is a very painful, mean sin. When you bully others to get what you want, you're being sinful. And I'm hoping that you'll change your mind. Because if you want to be the way you are, the ending's not going to be pretty. Because karma is one of those things you don't want to antagonize. Anytime you push karma to its edge, karma will strike. And you gotta understand, karma is not very judgmental. It affects everyone, no matter what you are, what color, what sex, what religion. Doesn't matter what you are. Karma will affect you. So I'd be worried. I've seen many times that karma affected so many people, and they got what came to them. And although I'm not into the porno games, I don't agree with your actions. They are very, very mean and bullying. So I advise that you change your ways. Because you are hurting not only the company that's making money on those video games, but you're hurting every gamer that did you no wrong. They want to be able to have a choice. And letting them not be able to, and having them not be able to use certain credit cards to be able to get their games, that's just bullying. And the gamers don't like it. You don't know it, but there are gamers in this world who don't take kindly to groups that think they are gods, who can dictate their actions of others. That's a very, very, very mean thing. Change your ways. That's all I'm asking you. Friendly advice, no threat. Just a friendly advice. Change your ways before it's too late. Karma goes to those that ask for it. That's it for my rant. See ya.